Alrighty, and we are back with some more wonderful Hilliard esports League of Legends play. We have our Hilliard JV team starting off the band with the Yasuo band, and they are playing Barberton, which if this is the Barberton from Ohio, then it might be the one my mom actually had her first teaching job being a choir director there, and one of my close family friends, John Vargo, was the principal there for a while. So Barberton, if this is you, we give you an extra shout out. Also a shout out to our family watching all the way from California. And if there's any of you guys watching who consistently watch and maybe want to shout out, you can email Hilliard Esports and we can, maybe hook you up. So I am Mrs. Sturman, aka Maestro Pants, joined here with Eric Glasser, aka Pocket Dust, Peter Sturman Wilson, aka Arya Deva, and of course a shout out to Egg and Toast, aka Caleb Crowley, our observer and very important guy behind the scenes. All right, Eric, Peter, what are you guys feeling about band so far?
I know that I was just in there listening to the JV strat just a little bit, get some insight for this specifically, and they've gone after two of the mid laners that they were specifically thinking about playing, Vigar and that Zed. They actually talking about, hey, what happens if we have to play Vigar into Zed, and it looks pretty targeted going after them today in that mid lane. So I know that they're kind of banning everywhere else for Darby, but Barberton seems to be being very targeted.
Yep, super targeted at Phoenix in that middle lane. I know he's been trying to expand his champion pool as of late, the Fizz and the Zed recent additions, so probably looking at his profile and saying, hey, this guy's been popping off recently, we better take care of him. And on the Hilliard side, we had those bans coming out for the Wukong and the Yasuo and the Set, three champions that are very strong, both on their own and in synergy, especially with the knock-up on that Wukong and the Yasuo. And we have that first pick Alawi, something that Nick is so good at and pretty much his main champion.
Yeah, and interesting to know, those of you who've been following us, we are missing Abject, our usual JV ADC and captain, and that's because he's been having some just tech issues with the League client and things, and so we have a bit of a shifting around, some people playing off roles, but that Jin's still locked in, which is almost a tribute to him because that's his main. And Rek'Sai pulled out for Bubble Puppy.
Yep, we have
whoever. Sorry, they're not in order. Whoever's gonna go.
Yep, we have Caleb Eevee on that Rek'Sai. He'll probably be the one taking that into the jungle, since I'm assuming the Alawi is going to be going to that top lane. And I know that Xander on the Bubble Puppy has been practicing up that Jhin to try and fill up that spot that Blake left behind. So hopefully he will be able to do that quite well. I know he's had some great games on it recently. And on the red side, we have that Echo coming out along with the Teemo and the Nautilus. So Teemo, one of those champions that is so classically annoying in League of Legends. I don't know if you have any experiences with him, Eric.
You either have a good experience with Teemo or you have a really bad day with him, right? Like, either you're ahead and he doesn't come off and nobody walks in and you don't have to worry about the shrooms, or something goes terribly wrong and 15 minutes into the game, half your life has disappeared while trying to push mid lane and you've no idea what happened.
Yep. And nothing's worse than a late game team fight for support when you're like trying to keep an eye on your ADC and next thing you know they step on a shroom and they die and you feel like you've betrayed them. Sweeper is going to be really, really important if he gets strong late game. But yeah, I agree. You either love him or you hate him.
You love him or you hate him, and most of the people who love him are the ones playing him because it's hard to love him on the enemy team, I tell you what. And we do have a lot of great gank setup for that Echo. I assume that's going to be an Echo jungle with that Nautilus pick. Gives really, really free setup with the ultimate into the auto attack or hook CC for that Echo W to go off. So we'll see how that actually manifests in-game. And the Xerath coming out, interesting, probably going to that middle lane.
Yeah, and that is, I mean, there really is a lot of focus in on this mid lane for both sides, with especially that Orianna out, but now we have Xerath locked in. Do you guys have any more info given? Because we will have the posterity of the stream being, 5 minutes delayed and such. Do you guys have any more insight into what you heard on comms from our JV squad?
Well, I know that.
Go ahead.
Okay, I know that Rek'Sai is something that Caleb has been playing a lot recently, and it's something that he said, well, I guess I'm a Rek'Sai main now, so I know he really likes taking him into that early game and making those big plays with it. And on the other side, not necessarily related to the comms themselves, but I am a little bit surprised that they pulled out the Xerath to give the counter pick in the mid lane, and we do have, Vladimir
Oh,
coming out. Interesting. Again, another
okay.
champion that Alex Phoenix has been practicing up recently, and the Kindred coming out on the other side for their jungler. So now that we see the comps fully
Where
formed,
will
what do we
Echo
think,
go
guys?
then? Where do you think?
It's probably going to be a Teemo and Xerath. Whoa, this is interesting. I'm guessing maybe a Teemo and Xerath bot lane, a Kindred in the jungle, and a Nautilus top, but I could be totally wrong since this is very, very different than what we would normally see in these
It's like
drafts.
musical lanes. You don't know where
Exactly.
they're gonna go.
And that element of surprise can certainly be something that can throw you off because when you're used to playing against certain champions, you get that dynamic down. You kind of know this trade's going to do this much damage. These are the power spikes. But when you're going into the unknown against them, it is quite difficult.
Nice little Frozen 2 reference there.
Of
Keeping
course.
this a family-friendly cast, giving references of all ages. And yeah, that little shout out to the Ari hover from Phoenix. But then going to that Vlad, which is a newer pick. Glassner, have you played against? What's your experience been playing against Vlad?
Everything in Vladimir lately, I'm still low, so most of the games I'm playing are coming out of the bottom, and he's not really that much of a problem for us. But I do know that late game scaling, I've seen him just tear teams apart. I'm really fascinated by that pick from Phoenix. It should be really exciting to see him do something new. I do know that they were trying to ban that Nautilus out. It looks like they decided that they'd rather prefer to play into it. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to assume that Echo goes jungle. Like, I don't know where else you put Kindred, but there's so much there for gank potential that I just would have expected that Echo would stay jungle. And they took him first, too. So they put some priority on him. I guess
Seeing
it'd
a
be
little
weird to see
shout
him
out
somewhere
from
else.
Abject that Kindred might be going ADC. And so yeah, we'll have to see that. That's like you guys said and Peter said before, this is going to definitely be an interesting game. And like you said, if you're not familiar with the damage that you're doing, then or that's being done to you, it can be harder. But also, if these guys aren't used to taking the champs in these places, even if you're really good on with the mechanics of that individual champion, it feels really different. And I know this because I'm definitely a support main, but I've branched out to play a little bit of top, a little bit of jungle here, and just things feel really different when you're in different places.
Different places, different circumstances, all of it changes that perception you have of what you can do in the game. And the thing about Kindred that, maybe it'll prove me wrong, but I've seen those Kindred bots before, and it is so difficult to get the marks because if you are in the bot lane and that mark appears on the other side of the map, what are you going to do? Like, you can get them on the kills, but getting them off of those camps can be really, really difficult. And those marks are what make that champion so unique and strong. So we'll have to see what Barberton can do with it.
Yeah, I should have thought about that. I didn't even think about that. That's 100%, true. That being said, maybe then they're going to use that to expand, roams and things like that. So our Hilliard guys will have to keep an eye out for those roams and things like that. That's one of the benefits of playing with a 5-man, right? Is you're talking with everyone in comms, working together, and you're able to play the map a bit more because you can speak about it rather than only pinging.
Absolutely, and those rotations will have to be pretty quick for those marks because I know that the enemy jungler often prioritizes them relatively quickly. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And also, depending on what the Vladimir is going into the mid lane, it is a tricky pick for that laning phase because he does have that pool, so he can counter the CC of either the Xerath, the Echo, or even the Nautilus if it is a Nautilus mid. No matter what, he is going to be able to dodge that CC quite effectively and probably
Absolutely. As
make
as
his
a
way into
Nami
the late
main,
game.
yeah, I hate Nautilus because I hate Vladimir because I'm like always wanting to throw a bubble and then he always disappears, and so that pool is huge to dodge.
Yep, and it's a big cooldown in the early game, but into the late game, it gets down to a pretty darn short cooldown with how much CDR he builds. So, as we look at the summoner spells here, let's see if there's anything interesting. It is a heal on the Kindred, so I am anticipating we are going to be seeing it in the bottom lane.
Good job,
heal and
Andrew.
press the attack. Absolutely. So the rest of the lanes, we do see the Echo for sure in that jungle, and probably the Teemo in the top lane with that teleport. So I'm guessing it's going to be the Nautilus support and the Xerath mid. Very, very interesting. Going for that all in and maybe just trying to get those marks off the kills with the Nautilus and the Kindred in the bot lane.
Cool Rek'Sai skin. And we got the BMO coming out. Have to, of course, note the skins.
Of course, and I know that Caleb actually mentioned, hey, I got a Rek'Sai skin, now I have to be a Rek'Sai main. That was what preceded his statement. So he is very excited to have that skin as well.
Nice. Eric, what are your thoughts seeing any of these seeing how it's actually going? And you were right with the Echo jungle. Good job sticking to your guns there.
It's exciting. I either expect something really, really exciting to happen in the beginning of the game, right? That Echo's got that electrocute, so it looks like he's going to be pressing and looking for something, and people are in weird places, and they're in places that I'm not familiar with, and I'd be surprised if the team here was familiar. So I kind of feel like something's going to get out of hands. Like, I'm actually getting really hyped now for the beginning of this game.
Yeah, you kind of expect to get out of hand in either direction, right? Either these picks that are unusual go against Hilliard here because they're not anticipating it, or their unconventional pick is maybe not meta for a reason, and then it's going to be difficult for them to pull it off. So it'll be really interesting to see how it goes. And we also have to kind of take a look at what Rek'Sai is going to be doing with the early pressure, because even though you do have a lot of threat from the Kindred and from the Nautilus in the bottom lane, we do have a lot of immobility on the map, right? So Teemo, he can be a little bit cheeky and hide in the brushes and such, but he doesn't have a lot of mobility to get away from Rek'Sai, nor does the Xerath. So it's going to be pretty hard for them to weather the storm of this Rek'Sai.
And real quick, let's talk about one more thing as we hit the rift here. Teemo Shrooms compared with Xerath ult, there are some dangerous corners in there that'll have to be navigated, so keep an eye on that for that too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. With that slow, to then make it harder to dodge out these skill shots. That's a really, really good point. Yeah, and just keeping in mind too that Bubble Puppy has been practicing up that Jhin, but he doesn't normally play down in that bot lane, and so then even just with chemistry between him and Awesome, they'll be kind of feeling it out, working together, rather than having been doing it all season long. But I'm looking forward to seeing their teamwork. They are used to being teammates. So I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. Looks like we got red side coming in for the invade. Careful, guys. They are in the brush. They see it. They back out. We'll place the ward down. They get it. And oh, no, they cleared the ward. First gold going over to our red side. But no harm, no summoners down. They are staying in that brush. So hopefully our Hilliard folks don't try checking that back out and realize with that Nautilus hook, it's a scary place.
And they're being smart here. They are not going back to check that. They actually warded their red buff to check against an invade, see if they would be staying in that jungle. So good play by them. If you're ever in the solo queue game and you see that invade coming, make sure you place that ward as instantly as possible so they are not able to clear it, and you keep that vision for the information. Something you can do if you're on the invading team is take a sweeper with you so that you can maintain the mystery. It's quite scary.
Oh, nice. Good. That's a good advice. And yeah, I've definitely been before where I've done the panic leave before dropping the ward, and that's no fun. And now we have the invade, counter invade from Hilliard. Eevee going after the enemy red buffs. They plop down vision too, which is nice to get that deep vision because it will tell you more information. It looks like they're going to get a clean steal on this.
Yeah, really smart play here from Hilliard, knowing that if they backed out and they're not stealing the red, they're probably heading back to that blue, and having that ward on the way to the Raptors is going to give them information about how long it took Echo if he cleared his full bottom side and what camps are up, where he's probably going to head.
Yeah, we got some trading back and forth in mid lane, but nothing too bad. Just doing the CS dance. It looks like Echo is over there on the Gromp after taking his blue. So like Peter had said, just vision will give you information, sometimes not about what you do see, but about what you don't see. And you'll see that red side has already dropped a ward in a river brush, and blue side seems pushed up a bit, but just trading back and forth for CS, not so much with damage in this early game.
Yep, both sides respecting here, and that could be part of that uncertainty, right? Where you're seeing that, well, we don't really know the dynamic of this lane. We don't know their power spikes. Let's just kind of see how it goes at first.
I still can't get over just looking at a Kindred ADC. This is weird to me. Echo coming in. He's pretty low. I don't know if he's thinking of a gank. We got some good vision in the river, mid lane there.
Yep, looks like he's just going for that ward.
Yep.
He's going for that ward in the jungle there to see if Kindred would be pathing towards the mid lane since Xerath is pushed up. A nice preemptive ward to stop the surprise ganks from the Rek'Sai since the tunnels and the flash can make it so unexpected, and that is actually going to spot him out here. Let's see if Xerath backs off. Might not see him on the ward yet.
He's pretty far pushed up, though. The Rek'Sai coming in here. We got the stun out, though, on Vlad. Careful there, careful there. The first blood goes to Hilliard, but the Ignite leads off our Vlad, and he does die. That's a good trade, 1-for-1, given if you're getting ganked, but we do get first blood on Hilliard's side.
Yeah, it's a good trade there for sure, but when you have that vision and when you just get a place, make sure you keep an eye on it because he could have completely avoided that gank if he had just backed off a little sooner.
Yep.
There's some
Scuttle going down in Season Kings.
It's mark 2. That's a mark for Kindred, so that's one that would have been really close and easy for him. Rek'Sai moving in to take it away. Really smart heads up from Eevee.
Yeah, absolutely. And exactly like you said, that was one that he should have had, but he didn't, and now we have Rek'Sai. Now he's being spotted out by this ward, but, you know, he's keeping his eye on the bot laners and relieving some pressure. Good stuff.
Maybe a gank top here.
Echo waiting in that brush up there. Last pretty pushed in. Echo throwing in, going, singing, good dancing around from Nick the Awesome, but he is in a really, really tough spot. He's trying to trade, getting the one on the Teemo. Can he do it? Good flash to get out of there. Might not be enough, but
oh, the cannon!
He got the kill. Exactly. Nice trade. He looked to see, hey, can I get out of this? But, you know, Echo's a hard one to move away from, so then he decides to go back in. Now, he did flash out, wondering if he should leave or just trying to dance around the damage, but he was able to trade his life 1-for-1 and kill his top laner.
And again, another thing to be cognizant of when you're moving in for these ganks in the early game, minions mean so much. That was a huge wave they were fighting in, and it was actually the cannon minions auto that finished off that kill for Nick. So again, another trade in these ganks, and things stay relatively even. We have a bit of a farm lead for Hilliard, which is why we're seeing that 800 gold advantage, but otherwise across the map, we just need to keep an eye on these flashes now and see what's capitalized on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have another rinse and repeat mid. Again, the ward's there, and he's playing really far up and didn't see it. And that's going to be a nice clean kill. I have to say, this Rek'Sai main, I might give it to him. He's doing really well so far. Knock on wood. Actually, it's wood right here. I can knock on that. But really clean ganks and good communication. And like you had said, Peter, if you're going to play wars, which warding wins games, as we say, get it on t-shirt one of these days, you really have to keep your eye on it because, especially with Rek'Sai, who's so mobile, you don't want to get caught out and keep missing the CS then during that long walk back to lane.
And you know, the slight modification there, that vision wins games, and it is not only the potential to see, but it's actually seeing it. It is so important to keep your eyes on that mini-map, something it's so hard to train at when you're first starting to play the game. And even after playing it for a long time, I know I get lost in the game sometimes and just forget to look at that map.
Yep. I just like the alliteration of the wording wins games, you know, but yeah, it's true vision or lack thereof. What you see and what you do with it. Alright, let's see. We have Xerath and Echo hanging out, seeing if they can get this Infernal Drake. This might just be a clean take for them. Nah, Echo's getting pretty low there, but I think they're gonna go straight over to Barberton. Yep, red team slaying that dragon.
There's some missing pins coming down in the mid lane there. You know, it looks like maybe they knew that, maybe they suspected. Here's some action here.
Oh yeah, we got a nice hook from Nautilus, W from the Jhin, trying to capitalize on. See, that's the thing with Nautilus, is when he hooks you, you know exactly where he's going to go, because then he also pulls himself to it. So, nice on Bubble Puppy for throwing out the W to kind of defend his support. And actually now he goes in the way of Hilliard. So, overstepping that boundary, they won the trade, and then they saw, hey, we have the damage to finish this forward. We got a Xerath ult coming down, which will be the end of our Vladimir, but Rek'Sai coming in with that ult down and seeing if he can get the damage. I don't know though. Got stunned. Might not want this. Back off. Oh, that was close. Oh no! Counter jungle 500 shut down. to Echo that was really well done on Barberton's side. Seeing that, Rek'Sai trying to dance out, and again, this just comes to, obviously, you know, knowing champion boundaries and what you can push. They get that turret gold from that first plate, and, you know, again, good stuff, but the more you play a champion, the more you know what you can take, how much damage you have at what point in the game, etc.
Man, the solo kill coming in for the Xerath was huge, followed by the counter gank attempt, or I suppose the gank at that point leading to the counter gank, giving the shutdown over, and let's see what happens top.
Okay, and so Nick the Awesome is stuck by himself with his 2v1, but Echo's pretty low, but that's a lot of damage Xerath can put out, and that's just death on all of it. Now, the good thing is I don't know if Teemo got an assist, but Xerath and Echo moving together, it's a lot of zoning control with the Echo, but then also the damage coming out of that Xerath. Geometry champions, as I call them. And so now they're turning their attention, Shelly, the first Rift Herald, and they are, you know, while Hilliard has a lead in farming gold, Barberton's definitely doing a good job keeping control and momentum of the map. We have Rek'Sai spotting them out, going in for the possible steal, nice dodge around, Echo's pretty low, and so this is good stopping attempt from Shelly, and then Rek'Sai gets the kill there. We have Vladimir roaming up to help out, getting the kill, finishing on Teemo, getting the double kill, and now turning back to Shelly before she has reset. This is a great turnaround play from Hilliard. Good, yep, hit that back part, that's good. Oh, but she reset now, and that feels bad, but it looks like they're still gonna try to finish this.
Still an easy secure here, and that was a huge turn back in momentum for Hilliard. Echo was quite low with the fight that had just happened. He had already used his ultimate, so he couldn't safely stay in that pit. And great heads-up play from Eevee to see that this was a situation he could go in on.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, he used that vision plan to ward it out. And see, Nautilus pulling in, Bubble the Puppy there, but again, ult is out. Oh, beautiful, threading the needle there. Ult is out, you gotta be careful. You know, you see these really good engages, and I agree, it looked tempting because he's so low, right? But then, you know, if you can't follow up on it, and if Kindred as the ADC isn't there for it, it's going to be tough. Looks like we have more action in the top lane. Alawi taking down Teemo, and then now we have Shelly on this first turret. It looks like first turret will go over to Hilliard, but here comes Echo. Let's see if they get this or not. Big minion wave, so this is enough to scare off Echo a little bit. They're kind of dancing around. You can see Nick the Awesome really wants this turret, and it is his. And now that that's down, Echo backing off a bit because the extra turret damage is not there.
What are your initial thoughts here, Eric, on this Kindred ADC?
It's still strange. I think that, you know, it looks like a comfort pick, right? And that scuttle has been there. Here's the second time that mark is right there, and I'm not sure. Here, Kindred's back in base. It doesn't look like they're prioritizing that enough to make that pick as wonderful as you want it to be. If that makes sense.
And we got more action in top lane. Nick the Awesome slaying Echo after stealing his red buff. Really nice job. And knowing his damage, there all came in, and that was nice, but not enough damage to finish him off. So now we find Eevee in a scary place, getting the stun down. Funny story, I played against Xerath for the first time in a while bot lane, and I did not realize that he had a stun, but he does, and he just used it to get that kill secured on to Eevee. But still, really good trades up there, and they got the red buff, and just showing Barberton that, hey, you know, we don't want coming into your jungle, and this is our place. And there, that pool, what Peter had been talking about, and pick up, you know, Alex or Phoenix can use that to maneuver through some of this damage, maneuver through these stuns, things like that. But he has to do it. So now that it's down, this might, beautiful dancing, saves himself, but he is pretty low. He needs to be careful because Xerath is decently long range.
Oh, he's very long range, one of the longest in the game, and we have to really look at the advantages across the map here to see where these teams are going to be playing too, because we do have a massive lead now in that mid lane. We have a quite also massive lead in that top lane as we see the 81 CS on the Alawi to the 33 on the Teemo along with those 3 kills. Junglers, you know, a little bit of an advantage, but the bot lane also very heavy for Hilliard. Let's see what happens on this dragon.
Yeah, so they're finding Vision is going to go the way of red side, it looks like. Xerath again zoning with the stun possibility. Rek'Sai can dance in and out, but Let's see here, just doing the vision dance. There it's zoning, but he finds himself alone on across with the pit. However, his teammates are already going on that mountain break. Oh, but Rek'Sai taking down Xerath. Now his numbers advantage. And we have Leona stunning in the back. I don't know why he wanted to be there. He didn't. Oh my gosh, Dragon helping us out. Nautilus goes down, and it is Hilliard Drake, 100%. It's a party. Everyone says, hey guys, let's meet up in the drag pit and slay some dragons.
Oh man, we have to applaud the efforts of Eevee and for the initial play along with Phoenix, because they saw the opportunity. Even though the Xerath is a strong member on the enemy team, they saw, hey, you're pushed up and we are here and we are ready. So the initial engage from Phoenix followed up by the nice Q into ultimate from the Rek'Sai.
Absolutely, and now they've turned their sights to bot turret, and you see there's still a lot of plate gold to be had too. So they have three people on this, but that's a lot. Got 4 now. You know, it's a lot of people and a lot of damage going down on this turret and getting these plate gold.
Yep. So if we look at that plate count all over the map, it's a massive advantage on the blue side.
Absolutely. Thank you, Caleb, showing us that. We got we got Echo going top with Teemo, probably sees all these people on the low side of the map, say, hey, let's try to push something. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're back to raising those CS scores. Good dancing on Phoenix's side. Oh, nice. And that's something else, too, that, right, you know, playing against champs, you get to know what, not only how it works, but also how, oh, see the ult, it's tick, 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 he's okay, oh! Talking about that long damage, so long, and he used the ult to get him low and then was able to finish him off. That was really nicely done by this Xerath. That's a really nice work. But now we got a Lowry who says, hey, I'm gonna defend my teammate. We have Barberton collapsing, and Nick is getting a little bit cut out, but the blue side is there soon. Jin all kind of zoning them off a bit, and whoa, damage by Rek'Sai, beautifully done. Saving Nick the Awesome, and then now they choose to keep going back in, re-engage, sundown, again, nice work from the Xerath. Rek'Sai very mobile, hops in, chasing down that Xerath, Root is there, and that goes over to Leona. But the Echo, being super mobile, popped a potion and will get out. I don't know if he wants to back from there. Depends how cheeky we decide to get, but we're letting him do it. Lots of deep vision placed. You guys want to unpack that?
How exciting is that? How exciting is that? That started mid lane with a Xerath ult. Vladimir before in that exchange sneaked out by the skin of his pants. And that time he had the ult, he got him, traveled what felt like a mile and a half. That play felt like a mile and a half long run to jungle both sides.
Yeah, and you can tell the Xerath really knows his limits on this laning. He's able to find those flash Qs at the very, very tip of his range and know that he gets that kill, but then it leads into all this other kind of chain of gold swinging back over to the blue team, because now they also have that Herald in addition to the kill advantage they got from that play.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like before, you know, for that one big period, I hope we'll see we have a little bit more action. Echo going in, but again, that pool is just huge. W out, but dodged from the Xerath, and ooh, nice stun, like Peter said, especially in lane. He really knows his champ. You can tell he's played Xerath a couple times. And Alex doing the dangerous dance, but so like we said that, oh, okay, all right, that's a choice to walk through the enemy team. It wasn't a bait. We will see. It was not a bait, but that is okay. Echo looks like he'll be getting out. Wow, and flashing in there, getting that kill, but whoa, nicely done, Rek'Sai. I mean, Phoenix looked so dangerously low that Echo wanted to take it, but then when you turn your eye there, next thing you know, you have an almost full health Rek'Sai in your face, dropping that Herald, the second Herald, Heraldine, going down, and that is mid-turret down as this map gets blown open, and you know, just like we had said before, that one little bit seemed like Barberton had control of the map. Now it is just fully in Hilliard's control, and it has been as Eevee takes the enemy blue buff.
And the gold lead is massive and growing as we see those plays coming out from Hilliard. And you do have to respect what the Leona Leona was going for there, because if he had hit that E, then it would have been a great collapse coming through into an easy ultimate. But Leona, pretty much when you miss that E and you miss that ultimate, it's going to be hard to follow up on that, which is why he ended up going down. But in the end, they are able to collapse as a team and take advantage of it. So still a great collapse. Exactly. It was the long con. So
Yes.
they are now leading into this next dragon to try and secure it.
Yep, sweeping out, cleaning up the vision. I do like all the wards I've been seeing this game. And Xerath using his long pokey poke while they do the vision dance.
That's so hard when you are on the red side. You have this disadvantage to press into this territory you don't have vision.
And we got more action on blue side, getting caught out. Nick the Awesome was backing around, but he's so tanky that, you know, he could kind of scope out where these other people were and then catch out the other people. Wow, unpack that. I got caught up in my mind. I wanted to say Hextech Protobelt, and in my mind I thought Pro Belter, and then I missed some of that action. So Peter, play us back. What just happened? Woo, damage. Good job, Alawi.
Protobelt, not the pro player, but I like the thought. And
Yep.
We do have to kind of look at, again, what we talked about in previous games as well. When you are this behind as you are on the red side, sometimes these objectives are just things you can't contest. And you need to just move in for farm on the other side of the map, maybe a little bit of wave pressure. It's just that second Drake for the blue side. It's not like it's the soul point Drake as the third Drake, or that actual soul like would be on the fourth, where we have more action. Oh, maybe?
Yeah, we do. Alawi, again, you know, Nick the Awesome, he knows how tanky he can get and still do damage as this champion, so he kind of is walking around, placing vision, scoping things out. Now, he was chunked out a bit, but nothing to be scared of, and he heads back with his team, and lots of pings coming out as they push down mid lane, trying to knock on the door of this second tier turret.
And we do have that all-important Baron buff coming in 40 seconds or so. Hard to believe that we are only almost 20 minutes into this game with how much action there has been, but they have just been fighting non-stop.
Yep.
There's that Vladimir backing off on the bottom lane. Looks like he's getting into a little bit of a split push. You know, that's something he enjoys doing, especially when the team is doing what they're doing here. There's that pick.
And what they're doing is killing this Xerath. Beautifully done. Fourth shot gets the final kill. And they're like, do we want to play with Echo? I'm not sure. And then also Eevee had a kill in jungle. And so they know that they are definitely in numbers advantage on the map. Looking at the CS differences going on, it is pretty extreme. I mean, look at that top lane CS difference. That is astronomical. And so, yeah.
And I have to give a serendipitous lore shout out to that kill from the Jhin. We had a fourth shot doing 444 damage for that kill shot, so it is actually just too perfect for the Jhin. I know that many people might not get that reference, but for those that do, they know how hilarious it is.
They may not know what it's for. And while the fun was coming out, sorry James, we also are having some action come out, and Nick getting a double kill with 1v3ing up there, and oh my, triple kill to top lane Alawi. That is amazing, the damage and still the tankiness that's there. Now Xerath is there, and we know Xerath does some damage, sun coming down and landing, but still looking good. Rek'Sai is there to help back up this Alawi, and he is not looking scared, but he's getting pretty darn low. You know, if ult's up, oh, there we go. That is a huge shutdown going the way of the Xerath, and then killed back to the Rek'Sai. I mean, ultimately, definitely a win for Hilliard with those three, but maybe something that he should have backed off a little bit to not give up the 1,000 gold shutdown, but still nicely done. And they turn their sights to Baron because they know, like, basically all the red side was off the map, but now they are respawning, and they might be seeing this, and they're heading there to check it out.
No, a valiant attempt from the Xerath to come back into this game. He's been trying and trying and trying, but as they claw back in, they are just getting reaped afterwards. It's so hard when you're in this position, but they do decide to go off of the Baron since everyone had respawned and come back, and this is the classic Alawi scenario. When she runs away a little bit with that lead, with that especially CS lead that you had just mentioned, she can 1v2, sometimes even 1v3, because she heals so much and that ultimate does so much damage. As soon as you see that ult come out, you have to back up or you will get crushed.
Absolutely. We got a TP coming in for the blue side. Nice juking around from the Echo to avoid the W from Jhin. And let's see, we got Xerath come to the party. Now he spent his gold from the 1,000 gold shutdown. They dodge the stun. Oh, and Teemo pops out of nowhere, and I don't know if he wants to be there. Echo coming in to try to see if he can save his top laner, but he can't, so he hops back out. And beautiful root from the Jhin. let's see what we got. Echo letting them get a little bit slowed as they make their way into this turret, but this turret is just a breath away from life. Good stun from the Xerath. Getting the shutdown. Nautilus gets it on the Vlad, and Xerath all coming down. Bubble Puppy, that is all she wrote for him. This is a huge turn going the way of Barberton. Yeah, boys, I would just breathe it back out. We gotta be careful. Oh, but Eevee's like, no, I don't like how this is going. Gets a trade kill back there for a trade kill and defending one of his teammates, and that turret is just a breath away from death. Xerath still standing there to defend against this Alawi who's now popped a potion.
Oh my goodness, so much happening, so extended on these team fights as we see back and forth, and you have to really kind of look at the subtleties of how the red team played that out to understand that the Echo flashed out at the perfect time. The Xerath was, as they were funneling through, landing the poke and landing the poke and landing the poke as they were chasing, and that's what allowed them to get them low enough to, you know, come out on top when they are 10,000 gold down. So that's the type of thing that in Hilliard's position, you say, yes, we have this huge lead, but we need to be really careful about how we're pressing it. They are getting this soul point Drake right here, or unless it gets stolen.
Oh, let's see, Echo going in. Oh no, nicely done. Eevee securing the Drake. Echo makes it out. Beautiful root coming down from the Jhin. Trade back though for the stun from the Xerath. Pull out for Vlad. We got the Jhin all coming down, getting some low damage. Phoenix slaying Echo. Got stun. Oh my gosh, there's just so much. And the double kill goes to Vlad. As we said, late game he gets so scary. And Hilliard definitely taking the win from that one. And they turn their sights mid lane. Yeah, careful BMO. I don't know if you want to BMO there.
He has to be more careful as they roam up here for this Baron, because he will get destroyed if he's there when the enemy team shows up. And
you wonder where all the bees are disappearing to? They're running away because that is blue team trying to get the Baron.
Oh my, and we definitely have to also give a shout out to the subtler things like the item buy from Eevee on the rec side, because Eevee could dive in like he did for those kills and come back with a GA, and Xerath again just poking them down.
Absolutely, you know, and that's where that damage is huge. I mean, he's gotten some really great shutdowns and some really great kills, and so, you know, just making sure, like you said, you know your limits and you know what you can do on the champion, so you can constantly come out on top of these trades. Xerath is really just doing a great job for his team, trying to keep him alive. The Hilliard is playing a nice coordinated game together, as long as they don't overextend and don't push these team fights too much. They're doing a nice job keeping control of the game. I mean, you see they're over 10,000 gold ahead, and over double the kills, and, you know, have more Drakes, so it's and double the turrets. So it's just being careful to not set up the win conditions to have the enemy team come back in the game.
But what we see in these types of games, and what we always talk about, is it's a percentage gold lead that's really important here, right? And that 10,000 gold lead has stagnated for quite a while as these plays have gone back and forth. So they do have that Ocean Soul maybe on the table to heal them back up from the poke, and just looks like the red team's getting some vision here, accidentally aggroing the Baron, I think. That was not
I've done that. I've done that.
Have to be careful dancing back and forth, maybe sending it to the trap though.
Yep, Baron, Echo going on in, but then leaving out. I don't think they won this, but we'll see. Xerath, if he could land a stun, maybe we'll go after something. But no, it just seems like they're kind of doing poke. Everybody dancing around a bit. Alawi pulling out the soul. We got, oh, and that's it. Leo decides to go on in. We got the Jhin all coming down. Couple Zonias pop. Rek'Sai on the outside of the fight, but getting to hop in a moment's notice and get it. Bubble Puppy kills Xerath. Now let's see if the Ignite gonna work. Ignite taking down the Nautilus, but he is chunky enough and he can pull himself away. Alawi trying to chase him down, but turning back away from it, and they say, hey guys, we kill people, let's go Baron.
Yep, this is when you can safely turn back towards that Baron. Echo again, maybe gonna look for that steal.
Or put Pink Ward down, there you go, good job. Jhin helping posture this Echo off. Be careful though, good. Phoenix coming to defend him. Oh, that's all she wrote. Ignite going down and the damage just there. To make sure that Echo does not hop in and steal this. Very mobile jungler. So this will be just a clean take for Hilliard.
Clean take for Hilliard and Eric. We're seeing that late game Vladimir power coming out, even though he had a little bit of a rough time in the lane. Now 6-4 and 9 with 300 gold shutdown.
I'm a little shocked, I'll be honest. When I looked at the draft to begin with, you know, we saw the mobility, we saw the poke potential, we saw Nautilus, that Roman invade at the beginning, kind of felt that coming a little bit, but the burst potential that this blue team is spitting out was not something that I thought about right away. You know, here's that Xerath chasing down again mid lane, the ult. Oh!
Ooh,
Excellent
flashing
flash.
out to get out of the ult. I absolutely respect that. Hold up. I am actually getting a call from my dad, so I'm going to mute myself for a quick second. And Peter and Eric, I trust y'all.
Absolutely. So we have some posturing around this middle lane. The Xerath, again, just trying to lay this poke down, trying to be so aggressive, but he has to with where his team's at. We had the Alawi E landed on him for that poke onto him as well. But we do see the Drake coming up here soon, and because it is going to be that Ocean Soul, which so directly counters this poke that they're trying to lay down, Red Team's saying, we really don't want to get this up.
And that's Rek'Sai top. Look at that. You know, that lane up there, he's walking through that turret, he's got something coming, so...
Oh my god, you turn away for 1 second and there's another team fight! Alright, we got the root down, the pin off, coming out. I mean, that is Ultra flashing in to get this kill on the Echo. Double kill goes down to the Vladimir. And Red Team just pushing, and ooh, the spotted out. You know, it's like, hey, what's here? Oh, it's a Xerath. I'm gonna tell my team about it. Let's try to kill him. But Xerath is going pretty far, and it looks like they might still chase for it. But meanwhile, Rek'Sai in the enemy base, working on this inhib after getting the turret. Oh, and Xerath getting that shut down on the Vladimir. Maybe they don't want to chase that. But Jin looks like he's going and helping out his Leona. Meanwhile, again, it is chaos in Barberton's base. We got Alawi mid lane, pushing down that turret there.
Man, so two really good things for both teams here. Recognizing that nobody was answering top to push in and get that inhibitor, but Xerath holding them off of that Drake 1v3 and getting a kill. So impressive on this champion. Really have to respect that play.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And we got some more action as they're going for this inhib, and they got it. Now are they going to stay or are they going to back out? I think they're good, maybe. Getting a little root to flex with the actions, not the words, on the way out. And they have the Baron empowered minions doing work in this damage as well. And so, you know, something that's really important is when you have Baron, you have to, oh nice, getting that Ocean Soul as well. When you have Baron, you have to take the time to do these kind of things because you have more pressure. So it's easier to get that Ocean Soul. It's easier to push out these, you know, in the base and things like that. And so always ask yourself, what can I do to get an objective and what can I do with that objective?
Yep, the objective game comes from the pressure, and the pressure can come from so many things like minis. We have a fight.
And we have a fight flashing out. The Nautilus does not quite get out of that damage and does go down. Meanwhile, they're waiting. The minions are now here to work on this turret. And I don't know if there's anything the Red Team can do at this point.
This is a clinically easy siege right here. We have the minions pushing in on both sides, and
he lost.
Alright, and we got Jinel coming down, and it looks like Echo trying to leave out there. Meanwhile, Inhib going down to Hilliard's side. Oh, nice stun there. It's getting the shutdown on Jin, but that's still traded for the turret. It goes down. Bimo, careful. Alright, there we go. Backing off. Alawi took his soul, and now he wants to run to Fountain. I do not blame him. Let's see. Meanwhile, we have the minions on the turrets for the Nexus. Whew.
And this one probably isn't going to let up. That's 3 inhibs down, super minions, double coming down the center lane. This is probably going to clean itself up here, unfortunately, and we'll be done with League for the day.
Yep, it looks like this is going to be the easy push in, resetting to get those buys, and then they come in with the triple inhib push to just end that game with a final team fight.
Yeah, it's really hard to come back from triple inhib down. I've seen it happen occasionally, but it's really, really hard because that then gives you the double super minions, and it's just a really, really tough thing to do. But you can also view it as, hey, now the money's walking to me, you know? And so Hilliard taking the camps, taking in the jungle, absolutely having full control of the map here. As they do, they spend up their money, and they are coming down mid.
Everything's cleaned up at the moment, so, you know, Red Team's got their best shot here, their best foot forward, right?
Oh well,
no, it's a trap.
And that feels bad. We have an execute from Echo, and they say, hey, we have a number advantage. We're here now. Knock, knock, knock. We're here. We want to win the game. Going in. A nice stun from there. And Bubble Puppy killing our Teemo. Let's see. Damage coming down. And we have these always. Look at this. Look at minion party on this turn. There's nothing they can do. I'm afraid of the amount of minions there. All right. And the Nexus, I mean, that's all she wrote. You know, there's so many. I mean, Alawi's basically like sleeping on the fountain, and he can because, you know, zoning them off, getting the kill still. Sensible shutdown, holy moly, but it doesn't matter because the Nexus is blown up, and that is a decisive win for our Hilliard JV team. Nicely done, guys.
Yep, slow and steady, just pushing them out with those gradual objectives, with the gradual build of the Gold League. Great job from Hilliard.
And across the board, a good press, all the advantages. Spicy in the beginning and taking the inches when it came. Who was mid lane there? Phoenix. I'm pretty sure Phoenix's special power is having 2 hit points at all times.
And then coming back with the 1,000 heals from that Vladimir and showing what it can do in the late game. That was a fantastic game all the way around.
Yeah, absolutely. Not necessarily on their primary roles, but some are, some aren't, some trying out new champs, and really, really a nice job there. Do have to give a shout out to Barberton, and especially that Xerath. They had some really nice, good comebacks, but Hilliard keeping it clean, keeping it focused on objectives, on pushing the map in the proper way, and a nice clean victory. On myself, Mrs. Sherman, on behalf of Hilliard Esports, and Peter and Eric and Caleb and all of us, we want to thank you guys for tuning in and supporting Hilliard Esports and League of Legends.